Hello and welcome to another Goodwill thrifting video. In this video we're taking a look at another Goodwill in the area. It's one that I have never been to before, so I figured I'd stop by and check it out while I had a little bit of time. So I'm just going over here to grab a cart, and then I'm going to try to find my way to the electronics department like I usually do first. But just kind of going through here, and sorry about the camera aiming at the ceiling. There were a lot of people with little kids there, so I didn't think it was right to have them on the camera. So making my way back towards the electronics department and kind of go through the glassware and decoration aisle here. It's something that I don't know a whole lot about, as I've said before, but I'm trying to learn a little bit and stuff. So just kind of looking around, seeing what I can find. Didn't really see anything too interesting. There were these German salt and pepper shakers, but they were more of a tourist thing that said made in China on the bottom. So figured they probably weren't worth much and didn't bother to really look them up. I was in a little bit of a hurry on this trip, so didn't spend a whole lot of time in this Goodwill, but figured if I was in the area, I should stop in and check it out. So again, making our way back towards the electronics and, looking at the coffee mugs, and didn't really see anything that I thought looked any special at all. If you guys see anything, please leave it down in the comments below. Again, I don't know a whole lot about the mugs. I'm more of an electronics and sporting goods person. So making my way again back towards where I saw the electronics were in the back, and noticed there was a rack of golf clubs over here to my left. So it's always good to take a look through the golf clubs. I mean, you'll see a lot of garbage ones or starter ones, cheaper Wilsons, Northwesterns, some Tour Edge stuff, being in the Chicago area here. But, sometimes you'll find Pings and TaylorMade, stuff like that. It's rare, but you will find it. So it's always good to look through it. And most Goodwills have these clubs for $1.99 to $4.99, depending on what it is. And you can usually flip it for a lot more than that. So didn't really see any good golf clubs over there. So again, making our way back towards the electronics department, and I was kind of blocked in here, so took a little diversion down the sporting goods aisle. Didn't see any softball or baseball bats. I've been doing really well with those lately. Try to look through, see what they had. They had a DeMarini Distance. I've seen this in the stores before. It only sells for about $14 to $17. So with shipping, it's only a couple bucks profit, so I didn't bother grabbing that one. Just kind of walk through, look at the office stuff. Sometimes you can find graphing calculators, things like that. Looking at the tools. You never know what you're going to find. You don't find good stuff very often, but every once in a while you will see something that's worth a little bit of money on there. So again, kind of going around this family here, trying to make my way back toward the electronics, which in this store proved to be quite the adventure. It seemed like I was getting blocked every time I turned around. So I saw a little calculator with a cover there, ended up just being a little cheap solar one. So now we're finally moving around the people here, trying to dodge them with the camera. So if it shows you some weird, bizarre things, I apologize. So just kind of scanning the toy aisle real quick on my way over there. Didn't really see any special games. It's the same games I've seen at just about every Goodwill. It's almost like they got a shipment of used games for each one that was exactly the same. Picked up this Uno game, but they wanted $4.99 for it, and that's way too much. It was only selling for about 11 or 12 bucks on eBay. They had a couple puzzles, a couple special cars, Monopoly, some other things, but again, all the comps were real low on eBay, so I decided to go ahead and skip it due to the size and how much it would cost to actually ship it. So we finally make our way back to the electronics aisle here, and this is a really small one for the area. They had a lot of cables at this one, so I spent a little bit of time looking through the cables. Also, this other weird shelf with keyboards. It's always good to look for really old vintage mechanical keyboards. Sometimes those will sell for some decent money. Printers, laser printers, a lot of times you'll find some old Brother or HP laser printers. Both of those bring in really good money, but all the stuff here was inkjet stuff. A cheap Olympus camera, 35 millimeter. I didn't think it'd be worth even looking at, so I went back over to the other section. Tried to look behind, see if there were any VCR DVD combos, anything like that has some sort of value. Video game controllers are always good, but these were all the knockoff aftermarket ones, so skipped all of these. I did like the Duck Dynasty bobblehead, but wasn't enough profit in it for me, and try not to pick up things to collect. I did see this Panasonic palm quarter, which I don't know if I grab it here. Yeah. So I looked at it here. I've sold these in the past. They can do pretty well if they have all the accessories and the charger and the batteries. I looked all over the place here, up by the cables, everywhere else, trying to find a battery and a charger for it. I did put the palm quarter in the cart, but ended up putting it back because it wasn't worth it. It's just without being able to test it and without having all the accessories, it wasn't worth enough money. Same thing with these video controllers. These were all the knockoff ones again, so was just kind of trying to sift through this here. My camera work wasn't very good, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to get better at it, but it's hard to hold the camera at the side and look at the items at the same time and see what you're doing with the phone. So hopefully I'll get a GoPro here in a little while. But so again, just digging through the cables. They had some microphones, but it was all cheapy accessory microphones for larger kits. Got excited about the PlayStation controller, but that was a fake one as well. Looked at some of the laptop chargers. Some of the other, there's a video webcam there, but it was nothing special. It was a cheaper one, so I decided to leave that as well. The joystick was an old computer joystick, but it was missing a piece on the bottom of it. There were a lot of phone chargers too, but I decided to leave all those because I've got bags of those that last me more than a year, so don't need to pick up any more of that stuff. And they did have a lot of the polarized and non-polarized accessory power cords, like that one hanging right there in the upper left, which I usually will grab, but this store was very expensive on those. So I did see this router. It was a Netgear N600 router. Kind of hemmed and hawed on that for a little bit. And one tip, whenever you're buying something in the box at Goodwill that's been opened, and then here's an Xbox 360 controller that's got all sorts of grime and stuff all wedged way in there, so it would have taken more effort to clean it than the profit would have been worth. So unfortunately I had to put that back as well. But going back to that router, always open the box and make sure that item is in the box. I opened that box later on and saw that it wasn't even the same model router. It was an old wireless G router that was jammed in the box and all beat to hell, so decided not to use that. Found a little Sony remote here. Thought that could have some value, but somebody obviously decided to use that as a fork or spoon because they had so much food all deposited in there. So skip that one as well. So looked at the Ion turntable. They wanted $24.99 for it. They don't sell for much more than $50. So with shipping and everything else involved, again, this Goodwill seemed to be pretty high price for the area, and there wasn't a whole lot of room in a lot of things. So again, making our way back, trying to see if there's anything else that we had missed. So just kind of taking a quick look through the toys, trying to see anything. And there were a couple little games and such electronic games that I tried to look at and see. There was a little toy slot machine. You can see in the bottom right corner back there. Nothing great. Again, all the prices on this stuff were high enough to where it wouldn't, with shipping factored in and everything else in the comps, it wasn't worth the time or the risk to hold on to the item for a while for $2-3. So just kind of making my way around the baskets. There was a store manager there, so I had to kind of hide the phone for a second. Most of them don't seem to mind, but some of them don't like it. So again, making our way back up toward the security case up there. Sometimes you find some gems in there. Not very often, but I like to at least walk by and spend a few seconds to look at it because you might find a gem or two in there. So make our way over there. They did have the Kiss Pez dispensers, which I thought were cool, but didn't comp out high enough to buy. They had some like Yadro statues, a couple of local Chicago. I refused to buy anything with Cubs on it. They also had a 1996 Bulls plaque down in the bottom left, but it wasn't really worth a lot there. The cleats were in good condition, but they wanted a lot of money for them. 360 Connect sensors aren't worth a whole lot anymore, especially for the price they were asking. So kind of had to move on again. So I was in search of some other stuff. The other things I was looking for here was I like to check out the laptop bags. A lot of times you can find yourself a nice Agio or Swiss or anything like that's got some value in it, and they usually sell for $1.99 to $2.99 at most stores. Figured this store would be a little bit higher, so I was trying to make my way back toward where they would have all the luggage type and bag type items here, but kept getting blocked in by a lot of junk they had in this corner. So again, slowly making our way back through the clothes, and I'm not a clothing person as far as resale. I don't know enough about it yet. Trying to, when I have time, I like to go and look and learn and figure that out, but didn't want to waste your guys' time on that on the video here. So making my way back toward where I see a bunch of backpacks and other things, and it turned out this store did not have a decent sized luggage section like most of them do. They just had a lot of little backpacks and stuff back in the corner here. So just took a quick look, and again, didn't really see anything that was that great. It was a lot of promotional bags, stuff like that. So then tried to make our way back over toward the front there just to check and see if I could find the luggage stuff if it wasn't where these bags are. And kind of make our way back over here, try to look and see if there was anything special, but there wasn't. So that pretty much ends the video for this store here. Thanks again for watching. Oh, that was an arm wrestling toy. Forgot about that one. It looked interesting, but wasn't worth a whole lot of money. So thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one.